Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. As you can see, slightly different setup today, but I figured it's nice to mix it up, right? So here I am, Demari, your career and personal growth read for the sign of Pisces. I remember. So yeah, let's just get started then. I will be using the Intuitive Tarot, and that will just help me to pull any messages that are going to be potentially relevant for your circumstances. So what is it that you're currently facing in regards to your career, your current job, if you're self-employed, your business? What's going on for Pisces? Ooh, Death card, okay. I'm not surprised this came up for you, Pisces, because you've had a hell of a time lately. For those of you that my shadow reading applied to, you've had a lot going on. So if you haven't seen the shadow work read, check that out. But do be advised, it contains some really heavy themes in regards to mental health. So just be warned, okay, in case you might be sensitive to that subject. But yeah, I know you've been dealing with a lot, some of you. Some of you have just been going through quite a heavy transformation. You've had a lot of things that you've had brought to light, and you have to like shed old ways of being that are toxic for you. So yeah, I'm not surprised that this has come up. So it may be that for some of you, your work was a big contributor to your feeling of being unsatisfied and just generally not okay on various levels. So there's some aspect of it that's coming to an end. It could be that you're quitting your job. It could be that you're changing companies. It could be, if you're self-employed, that you're closing your business and going down a different path. It could be that you're literally just changing up how you do things, right? But in a very significant way, because it no longer works for you, how things have been going recently. So there's big changes all around. Regardless, just apply it as it fits for your situation, if it does. But I feel like for many of you, you've had some very significant changes in the recent weeks. And yeah, so you're really going to see a lot of things taking place in this time. But it's important to know that you have control over many aspects of that. You've got the Magician card just flicked up, right? So it's important that you know that while some circumstances feel like out of your control, there'll be others that you can, right? So it doesn't have to be this complete demolition, we're always lost, right? While you're deconstructing certain aspects of your career or your work, you can also be thinking about how you can rebuild. So what was that? I just wanted to come flying out. Okay, so Queen of Cups in reverse. So really think about what it is that you truly want, right? What is it that you're being pulled towards? Because you've been very emotional in this time. It's been a very emotional upheaval for you, having to dismantle aspects of your life, right? And obviously that will have an emotional toll. So do you need to consider what it is that you want to move towards that will bring you into lighter waters? Or perhaps you just simply need a break right now. You need to recharge, you know, because you've been so emotionally depleted. Maybe now your focus should be on healing more than anything. Okay, for some of you, you will have to think about what it is that you want to do, because the Emperor's just flipped up. For some of you, you will have to think about where it is that you're heading and what it is you actually want, because you know that some aspect of this isn't working, right? So what is it that you want to see in its place, okay? So you got that's so interesting, you had the Emperor in the upper end, you've got the Empress in reverse, and the Six of Swords, right? So this is about taking action. This is not simply waiting for it. It may be that you need some support. Could be that you need some mentorship in this time from someone who is where you want to be, or that has a very firm grounding. where they can offer that support and guidance for you. But you do need to take action, I think, for the majority of you, from what I'm seeing in those cards. That it's not about sitting back on your laurels and just wallowing in self-pity, right? Like, you have to take action. You have to think about what you do want. Okay, this didn't work out, or this had to end, but what is it you want to move towards, right? Don't just sit in limbo. Go towards what you want, okay? So what else needs to be addressed? That's what I want to know. Because there's obviously going to be some aspects here that's not being seen. Okay, so you do need to listen to your emotions, because they are trying to tell you something. The moon card just flipped out as well, right? So yeah, do listen to them, because as much as you know that, okay, I'm healing, there's things going on, it's mostly that. There is something else that your emotions are trying to tell you. Your intuition is trying to tell you something. All of those thoughts and feelings below the surface are trying to shine a light on a much larger truth. Okay, so you really take some time to contemplate that and see what it is that your own soul is trying to reveal to you. Okay. So what are your biggest strengths then, in terms of your work, you know, your skill set? What is your biggest strengths, your top attributes? Okay, 9 of Wands. You have the ability to conjure up the things that you can imagine, okay? If you can see in your mind's eye, you can make it happen. I feel like you're someone who's very good at creating something out of nothing, right? Obviously, that can go both ways, right? You can go negatively and positively, but I feel like you're just someone who's very good at creating something with very little resources, right? You don't need much in life to be successful, right? That's what I feel like, which is great. You know, that's very handy, I think. So even if you're not given very much in terms of the means or the tools, or you know, the best quality tools or whatever, I think that regardless, you'll still get something great out of it. It may not be the best it could be, but you'll still make it work. You have that ability, right? So use that to your benefit, okay? Because that's the thing, if you're someone that's like that, and you know, you can put your ideas out there and you can just make it happen, what's stopping you from moving forward in a new direction, right? Because you have the ability to make it happen, even if you don't have all the tools that you need. So look into it, have a think about it. So what else is, I mean, I feel like, as I said, that can go both ways. You can potentially make a molehill out of a mountain. So do watch that. But what other weaknesses do Pisces need to be aware of? Okay, we've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. I think sometimes you can get lost in your emotions to the point where you don't see others if you're not careful. That's not for everybody, that's only for some of you. But I feel like for some of you, you can get lost in your emotions, particularly when you're having a really rough one, which I understand. I think everyone can to some degree. But I feel like some of you have a tendency to do that. And you kind of overlook the support that's been trying to come in. So it's really important that you don't do that, that you try and, even in your, you know, upset or misery, that you try to see the good that's coming into your life and the people that are trying to support you, and don't push them away, okay? I feel like some of you probably do kind of cage yourself away and push people away to protect yourself, but don't do that. That's not going to help you in this time. You need that support. I feel like for some others of you, you're so used to dealing with things by yourself, you don't know how to ask for support. And you know, it's really important that you do, because if you don't, there will be a day where you just can't do it anymore, and then you know, who are you going to turn to, because you pushed everyone away, right? So it's really important that you don't do that. and that you focus on, trying to better yourself and, surrounding yourself by people who understand, who are sympathetic, no, not sympathetic, they're empathetic to your situation, and that are going to support you, and, that will help to actually take you out of your own mind for a little while and see things a little bit more objectively. Just don't push them away, okay? So now what I want to look at is, the direction you're moving in. Like, what are you moving towards, Pisces? Hopefully, as I said, smooth the waters. Okay. 2 of Swords. Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a great support that comes in. You're really gonna be able to communicate effectively with this person, and they'll see your vision. They'll see it the same way you do, and they'll be like, oh, okay, that's great. Like, yeah, you should definitely do that, right? I feel like there is going to be that support coming, and that will also give you the confidence boost to go ahead, which is good. That's what you need, right? So yeah, I think that's a really beautiful energy to come in. I feel like, someone will come and give you that support. They'll listen to you, and they'll be in a position where they can offer you guidance. So it's important that you don't push them away, because they're going to be quite instrumental to your work. So interesting. Okay then, so what can you do to help level yourself up then? How can you take yourself from the feelings and circumstances that you're in now to where you want to be? Hermit in reverse. So yeah, I feel like communication is obviously an important thing. I feel like you have to be very honest with yourself, and that you have a moment to have silence and stillness, and you have a moment to reflect and see how you can do things differently. But you don't spend too long in your own company, because you need that support, you need that guidance. And like I said, someone's going to come in that's going to be very influential on what you do. So it's important that you don't push them away to just sit in contemplation for too long. You need to do that, but you need to find a balance, right, between the two. So I just want to pull the overall energy now for your read. For your read. Oh gosh. Okay, and you've got the 9 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, there's so much to process right now. Gosh. And I feel like you are very worried. I feel like some of you have probably been like having insomnia. I mean, I know I've been having sleeping problems, but it's not with this energy. It's more inspiration and just having a lot of changes. So I do understand, on some level. But yeah, I feel like right now a lot of you are worrying a lot. Probably a lot more than I am right now, about things. So yeah, I think that it's important that you don't get too caught up in that worry, because it's a process. It's going to take time. There's a lot of things you're still purging. You're having to reassess and rebuild, and you're going to have the support there. So, there's a lot actually that's going to be, there's this nurturing energy that's really coming in to help you, but at the moment you're just kind of purging right now, which is fine. But just don't get too caught up in the worry, okay? That's my advice, because, like I said, the support is coming in and it will come in strong, okay? So I hope that was helpful for you, Pisces. Just to recap, you have been having a rough one. You've had a massive change in your working circumstance in some way. Yes, some things had to change in order to align you more with where you want to be. Really think about where you want to be, what you want to be doing, the direction you want to head in. Accept the support that comes in, because someone's going to help you in quite a big way in terms of your work, but also in supporting your healing. And yeah, just try not to worry too much, and just know that you are in good hands. It's just you're kind of in a purging moment right now. So just give yourself the space and the time. Do reflect, but don't get too lost in thought. and all will be well, I promise. Okay, so thank you so much for thank you so much for watching, Pisces. Sorry I'm a bit muddled again, like this insomnia and this heat is just really messing with my brain. I think I'm gonna get another coffee now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the read. Do let me know in the comments what your thoughts were. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. If you haven't already, do subscribe, and I'll be doing another reading for you very soon. So take care for now.